What happens when size becomes a double-edged sword in the NBA? Welcome to Fattest NBA Players Ever, a look at giants who made headlines not just for skill, but for scale. Did you know Simbula's entire NBA career lasted just 3 games, despite standing 7 feet 5 inches and weighing 360 pounds? Or that Shaq dominated at 360 pounds, while Eddie Curry was out of the league by age 30? Why do some big men thrive while others fall short? Literally. Could weight management have saved promising careers? Let's dive into these towering tales and ask, is being big a blessing or a burden? Subscribe for more deep dives into basketball's most unbelievable stories. This one will surprise you. Ready? Let's go. Priest Lauderdale, the 7 feet 4 inch gamble. Ever heard of Priest Lauderdale? At 7 feet 4 inches tall and weighing 325 pounds, this guy was a literal giant on the court. Born in Chicago in 1973, he was picked in the first round of the 1996 NBA draft by the Atlanta Hawks. Why? The team saw him as the perfect replacement for Dikembe Mutombo, their star center at the time. But did Lauderdale live up to the hype? Well, not really. He only played 74 games over 2 seasons, averaging just 3.4 points and 1.9 rebounds per game. That's not exactly all-star material, right? Despite his intimidating frame, he struggled with mobility and conditioning. His win shares were -0.8 and his PER sat at 11.3, which is well below average. Do you think size alone is enough to make it in the NBA? Lauderdale's short career proves one thing. Being tall and big isn't always a winning combo in pro basketball. Sometimes expectations can be as heavy as the player. Thomas Hamilton, when weight holds you back. Let's talk about a cautionary tale, Thomas Hamilton. This guy stood 7 feet 2 inches tall and tipped the scales at a whopping 330 pounds. Some sources even say 350. Born in Chicago just like Priest Lauderdale, Hamilton showed promise early on, but his massive frame quickly became his biggest enemy. He played only 2 seasons in the NBA. In 1995-96, he appeared in 11 games for the Boston Celtics, and after disappearing for 3 years, he resurfaced with 22 games for the Houston Rockets in the 1999-2000 season. His total, just 343 minutes played, 107 points and 112 rebounds. Ouch. His win shares were -0.3 and his PER was a low 9.9. Injuries and lack of mobility held him back. Could better conditioning have saved his career? What if he had a chance to develop in today's fitness-driven NBA? Hamilton's career is a reminder. Weight can be a wall, not a weapon, especially when you don't have the endurance to back it up. Could he have lasted longer with better health support? Mike Sweetney, the weight of expectations. Next up is Mike Sweetney, who played at an eye-popping 340 pounds and stood 6 feet 8 inches tall. Initially drafted by the New York Knicks, he seemed fairly average in size, but when he got traded to the Chicago Bulls, things changed. He gained weight year after year until it severely impacted his career. Despite the physical challenges, Sweetney managed to carve out a 4-year NBA career, logging 233 games and averaging 6.5 points and 4.5 rebounds per game. His win shares totaled 7.8 and his PER was 15.1, which is respectable. But what if he had maintained his early playing weight? Would we be talking about a much longer and more successful NBA run? His story shows how quickly things can change in pro sports. Fitness isn't optional, it's essential. Even talented players can be sidelined by weight issues. Do you think teams should invest more in helping players manage their weight? Eddie Curry, Baby Shaq's rise and fall. Remember Eddie Curry? Drafted by the Chicago Bulls in 2001, Curry was labeled the next big thing, literally. Standing 7 feet tall and weighing 350 pounds, some called him Baby Shaq. Big nickname, right? And honestly, he started strong. In an 11-year NBA career, Curry averaged 12.9 points, 5.2 rebounds, and shot an efficient 54% from the field. His win shares reached 21.7 and his PER was a solid 15.9. But as time went on, his weight became a serious issue, leading to injuries and a decline in defensive performance. By the time he was 30, he was out of the league. Think about that. 30 is when many players hit their prime. So what went wrong? Eddie Curry's journey is a mix of potential and pitfalls. Talent alone wasn't enough to keep him on the court. Do you think he lived up to his nickname, Baby Shaq? Or did the weight of expectations bring him down? If you're enjoying this, go ahead, like the video, share your thoughts, and subscribe for more. Simbula, the shortest NBA career on this list. Let's talk about Simbula, one of the tallest and heaviest players to ever step onto an NBA court. At 7 feet 5 inches and 360 pounds.
Lost it, back out to Heslip, another chance. third opportunity, this time by the 7'5" Sim Bular.
He made headlines in 2015 when he signed a 10-day contract with the Sacramento Kings.
Great. I mean, working hard all year to get to this point, and it's just good to see it actually pay off. I'm just getting more in shape and getting my body right more, and just getting more into with basketball and being more comfortable on the court, and I think I've been doing all that so far.
Born in Toronto, Canada, Sim also became the first player of Indian descent to play in the NBA. That's historic. But here's the catch. His entire NBA career lasted just 3 games. He scored 2 points, grabbed 1 rebound, dished 1 assist, and had 1 block. That's it. His win shares was 0.0, but interestingly, his PER clocked in at a wild 44.3 thanks to his ultra-limited minutes. Was Sim simply too big for the modern NBA? Or did he not get enough time to prove himself? What would have happened if a team had invested more in his development? Buller's case is fascinating. It raises big questions about the NBA's tolerance for size versus speed. Can sheer size still dominate in today's fast-paced league? Shaquille O'Neal, the king of big men. Here comes the legend, Shaquille O'Neal. At his heaviest, Shaq weighed 360 pounds and stood 7 feet 1 inch tall. Yet, unlike others on this list, he thrived with that size. Shaq had a 19-year NBA career, played 1,207 games, and averaged 23.7 points, 10.9 rebounds, 2.5 assists, and 2.3 blocks per game. He won 4 NBA championships, was the 1999 to 2000 MVP, and made 15 All-Star appearances. His win shares were a staggering 181.7, and his PR was 26.4. Borderline legendary. So how did Shaq dominate where others failed? Was it his athleticism, his mindset, or just sheer willpower? He often said, "I'm not the most technical, but I'm the most dominant." That sums it up. Shaq proved that size plus skill equals dominance. But could a player like him still thrive today in a faster, more perimeter-focused NBA? Or has the league moved on from true big men? Either way, Shaq will forever be the gold standard for big players in the NBA. No debate. Oliver Miller, the heaviest NBA player ever. And finally, we have Oliver Miller, the heaviest player in NBA history, weighing in at a jaw-dropping 380 pounds.
When imagining someone who's 380 pounds, you don't normally think of a pro athlete.
Standing 6 feet 9 inches tall, Miller began his career at around 280 pounds, but gradually packed on the weight throughout his 9-year career. Despite his size, Miller had surprising agility. He averaged 7.4 points, 5.9 rebounds, 2.2 assists, and 1.6 blocks per game. Not bad at all. His win shares totaled 21.1, and his PAR was 15.2, which is right around league average. But what if he'd stayed closer to his original weight? Could he have had a longer career? Could he have been a regular starter instead of a role player? Miller's story is both fascinating and frustrating. He had the talent and instincts, but his weight became the headline. Do you think he could have dominated if conditioning had been a priority? Oliver Miller proves that weight can limit even the most skilled big men. In the end, he left behind more questions than answers. But he'll always be remembered as the NBA's biggest player. Size can open doors in the NBA, but it can also close them. From Shaq's reign of dominance to Sim Buller's 3-game cameo, these stories show that weight and height alone aren't enough. Conditioning, mindset, and support make all the difference. Some rose, others fell, but all made an impact. Love stories like this? Comment your thoughts below, and subscribe for more unbelievable basketball tales.